Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, one and all.
Hello,
Hi.
Dan.
Hello, you, and hello, all of you who are
Thank you very
watching.
much.
Hi. Yes, I'm DM Dan. Welcome to Explorers of Elsewhere. We are here for another episode, and Meg's changed up her makeup routine a little bit.
There you go. I'm Meg. I'm Meg.
Oh,
You're looking good. You're looking very good. For those of you who are more easily deceived, we are missing a Meg, but we are swapping her out for an Anton.
That's right.
So yes, welcome to your first episode, Anton. How you doing?
Thank you. Yeah, first episode of Explorers of Elsewhere. I'm very, very excited. I've watched episode 1. No spoilers. Well, actually, if you're watching episode 3, you probably watched episode 1. But it was really good.
yeah, if they're watching episode 3 at this point,
I would
they're
hope
pretty
so.
catched up.
If you haven't watched episode 1, maybe go and do that.
Start with that.
Absolutely.
A couple of times, give us some more views, please.
Then
I've actually done that.
skip episode 2, go to episode 3. There you go. Be fully caught up.
Absolutely perfect, just perfectly balanced. Yes, hi all of you. We've certainly got some stuff that's been happening, and yeah, I'm excited to see what's gonna happen. So, if you like what you're seeing, make sure to hit the like button, leave some comments on what it is you liked, and we do this very, very regularly, so make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon for notifications of when we upload new content. And I suppose with all that said, shall we go to a title screen?
Yeah.
I think so.
Do it. Play that intro.
The world has been broken and remade. Our civilizations are shattered, our people divided. Yet there are those who would rise up to challenge the encroaching darkness.
Hi, my name's Carl. I'm playing Sir Carmichael Comstock, a Lorivar Cavalier Fighter.
Hi, I'm Meg. I'm playing Addy, a Keeper Druid Bard.
Hi, my name is Anton, and I play Viktor, a Lorivar Gloomstalker Ranger.
Hi, my name's Lane. I'm playing Milia Sayralast, an Asavar Divine Soul Sorcerer.
My name's Tim, and I'm playing Galena, the Terran Sprite Alchemist Artificer.
And my name is Dan. I will be the Dungeon Master on this adventure. Whilst our world has been changed, we band together. Hope bright in our hearts. We push forward to reclaim what was once ours, and we shall be known as the Explorers of Elsewhere. The last few years of Elsewhere's history have been fraught with grief, turmoil, and confusion as a result of the eschaton at the end of the war between Aya and Akan and their respective followers. Whilst many regale others with tales of tragedy, of frightening celestial entities turning their lives upside down, there are just as many who can speak of acts of depravity and desperation committed by mortals against mortals. For the victims of these stories, the wounds from those acts can be as deep as Elsewhere's herself. Some find their lives reformed and moulded by the intense fight or flight reaction they experienced, emerging from the crisis a new person. In turn, they may be driven to equally extreme acts, and thus the cycle continues. In a brand new world, you have a benefit of knowing that those around you likely know nothing of your past, or what will happen if it catches up with you. And so, you hear the words uttered by this new arrival, the voice of a slightly more elderly Lorivar man, ring in your ears as you hear a second deafening cacophonous choral roar in the woods.
It was not Victor. God.
And as your heads all kind of stack around to look for the site, look for the location of this roar, our newcomer Victor, you stand on the edge of this kind of circular barricade of caravans, illuminated, silhouetted against one of their perimeter camp lights. Off to your right, you can see a young keeper girl stood next to what appears to be a very large and ferocious looking bear. You can see a number of heads kind of poking up over the barricades, including, like, you can see a number of caravan guards, but you can also see what appears to be the helmet, the battered helmet of a knight, and like two amber eyes peering up, like pulling herself up, peering at you, and her head punctuated by a little stony mohawk.
Where on earth did that noise come from?
Well,
the beast screech.
This is a good question. As you look around, you can hear carnage and chaos within the camp as people kind of scramble to get into defensive positions. You can hear, find it! And like you can see more light appearing from the torches. Torches are dragged out by some of the guards. But Victor, in this moment, what do you do?
I did not bring that creature with us. Where is it? And he'll turn around with his rifle and in the direction where the scream's coming from.
Okay. Roll me a perception check.
Woohoo! First roll. How do we roll? Normal. Let's go. Disadvantage or straight?
Straight roll.
Okay. 13.
13. So you frantically kind of look from left to right, and your rifle, your firearm, like your eye following the barrel of your firearm.
Yep.
And through the darkness and the heat haze from the torches, you see nothing. In the shadows, you see nothing in the foliage overhead. You have no idea where this sound came from.
All right.
Meanwhile, Comstock, you and Galena have just kind of scrambled up onto one of the caravan barricades, and you can see this, what appears to be, I mean, Anton, how would you describe Victor in this moment?
He's wearing outdoorsman's clothing. That's sort of a sturdy vest, nice, well-worn boots, a cowboy hat, kinda like a huntsman hat, backpack, and carrying a rifle. And you can tell this person's an outdoorsman and has some of the hallmarks of a ranger or hunter. But currently he's scanning furiously in the tree line, and he'll start retreating towards the camp and say, "Prepare defenses! I'm not sure what creature this is. It may have tracked me."
Okay, in which case, Comstock, as Victor says this, Comstock and Galena, what do the two of you do?
I think Comstock leans to Galena as like, do you think he's associated with the bandits from earlier?
Certainly could be. Stay back, stranger!
Stay outside the camp!
That's fine, suit yourself. I'll make my own way.
Comstock's sort of looking at Victor, watching the way his gun is tracking. He's like, if there's anything out there, these outer torches are going to blind us. We need to turn them out somehow, otherwise we're not going to see anything until it's too late.
As you say that, one of the guards, the guard that you've just been speaking to, Daffy Willis, looks up and, "You want to turn them off?"
Only the ones outside the camp. We need the light behind us, not in front of us. It's just causing us night blindness.
We'll just be silhouetted with them out.
Well, so what? Comstock, as you say that, and the guard, so Daffy turns and looks to Haladradis, and she kind of locks eyes with you for a moment, and then strides up, like pulls herself up onto the caravans, onto the fortifications, and you watch as this Majani wizard closes her eyes, grasps the staff that she's holding in both hands, and she whispers something, and then her head snaps back, her eyes glowing, and you see runes erupt in a ring around the top of her staff, and what can only be described as a wind flies round and turns off all of the torches around the edge of the camp.
Fantastic! Great job! I can't see anything now!
Whilst, like, at this moment, you hear Addy say, "Inside!" And there's a roar, and one of the guards screams as this bear like pulls itself over the barricades, and this guard, not expecting a bear, just bamfs out the way, just scarpers. As Addy kind of makes us way back in. Whilst this is all happening, what are you doing, Milia?
Cowering.
Okay.
There's shouting, there's threats going on. Horses just jumped back over the ring and scared the shit out of people.
Horse and bear, yes.
So, back to the wagon I'm at, just, oh god, what's happening? Is he here for me? He can't be here for me. They can't have found me already.
Okay, so as that happens, Viktor, you find yourself in darker circumstances than you were a moment ago. What do you do?
He's gonna go move by a rock that's on the outside the camp, and he's gonna put his back to it and just keep on scanning. And go, I hope you know what you're doing.
Which way are you looking? North, south, east, west?
Let's go with north.
North. Okay, you're looking north. In which case, as Viktor, as you shout out, "I hope you know what you're doing," you hear a third roar, and everyone in the camp kind of jumps at the sound. And
You know, I'm quite old. I won't make very good bait. You know this.
We have no idea who you are.
So you hear
Fair enough.
that all of you at the northern kind of edge of this of the camp, of the barricade, you hear screams coming from the other side of the camp, and as you turn to look to see where the scream is coming from, you hear a loud crashing noise. It sounds like splintering wood. You hear, like, there's cries of panic, and then Comstock, well, all of you actually, Comstock, Galena, Addy, Milia, and now Viktor, you hear something horrendous happening in the makeshift stables, just to the south of you. And with a second explosion and like crash of wood, the front of the wall of the stable that you're looking at explodes outwards.
Oh god.
And you watch as a horse is a panicked, screaming, whinnying horse is dragged along sideways on its hooves before being lifted up into the air, and you will feel a hard, flat, like gusts of wind buffeting you as this horse is kind of carried away up over your heads. In the confusion and panic, the other horses like buck and start scattering. There's bedlam as the horses break free and start kind of trying to jump some of the caravans. Some of them just start kind of going around the laps trying to find an escape route. But as this horse clears over your heads, what are you doing? Comstock.
Comstock turns around, sees like the horse just disappear into the air. Stranger!
Yes.
Maybe get a little bit closer.
What are you going to do?
Nothing, but at least you'll have the protection of the caravans. We'll talk later.
You're most gracious.
I will get closer.
Okay, so as you run that way, Galena, you can see a horse kind of a good 20 feet off the ground. What do you do? Like 20 foot off the ground, gaining altitude and speed.
Is anything attached to it as far as I can see?
Roll me a perception check with disadvantage because it's in dim light.
Okie dokie.
Dim question: would I notice that creature?
You
Not yet.
So a 17 or a 15?
15.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
15.
Oh, I don't like that noise.
What it mean?
Get used to it. This is the DM planning on screwing us over noise.
Yep.
Oh god.
I make
Low
it a
rolls.
lot.
Low rolls from the DM.
Okay. So, Galena, as you you see Comstock shouting to the stranger, and Galena, you just watch as this horse fly, soars over your head, and you squint into the darkness to try and make out what on earth's happening, and you notice, as you see that there is. The horse appears to have been lifted up by something. You can see what appear to be claw grips in the horse's flank. Whatever it is, it's large enough that it can pick up a horse and carry it off whilst flying. But what you also notice is that directly above the horse is nothing. Except for as the horse shakes and whinnies, which kind of shakes whatever's carrying it slightly, you see flickers of the camp light behind you reflect off what looks like something translucent, something chameleonic.
Flying jellyfish.
Some days you wish you prepared fairy fire, and this is not one of those days. Right. Can I do anything further, or would you that need initiative?
Well, what is it you're thinking of doing otherwise?
All right. What I want to do is get my hand crossbow.
Mm-hmm.
Use magical tinkering to pour a little bit of fluorescent goop on an arrow, and then ping a glowing arrow up at whatever appears to be above the horse. If I hit the horse, that's fine too.
Okay. Make me an attack roll with disadvantage.
Roll for goop.
With disadvantage, 11.
Okay. So as you see this, what does your crossbow look like? Does it look like a crossbow, or does it look like a Galena special?
It's a relatively ordinary crossbow, to be honest. Mechanisms are a little bit, they're not really my field.
Sure.
So, yeah, pretty standard store-bought.
Okay. In which case, yeah, you grab up your crossbow, you take an aim at, at first you aim at the horse, and then you kind of arc up to shoot whatever's carrying the horse. You pull the trigger, and as you do, the horse kind of drops and swoops to the side, and your crossbow bolt slams into a tree.
Right. It's invisible! Haladradis, you got something for this!
The Majani wizard is just watching this horse go, and she looks at the horse, and then she turns to look and, forget the horse, we need to bring the camp back to order, she bellows to you. As she shouts that, Malia, what you do?
As I hear that, I've processed. They're not here for the book. It's not them. It's not me. Okay. Stand up and start going around to anything I can do to help. So getting the horses calm.
Okay.
Anything like that.
Well, okay. Tell you what, if you're doing that, give me an animal handling check. Addy will join you.
Sweet.
So Addy rolls a 15.
Oh! First one of the game.
You punch a horse in the face.
Oh god. If only you were Lorvar. Could re-roll that.
Oh, if only my eyes didn't glow yellow so it would scare the shit out of the horses.
So, Milia, you go up to one of the horses and you're just like, car, and then this horse just kind of rears up, like hooves flailing, and as you, Addie runs up, and with her size and brawn, you just watch as this keeper runs up and fundamentally grabs the horse around the hooves, like wrestles the horse a bit, and then it's just like, stop it, and like lowers the horse back to the ground, and then like starts talking in a language you don't understand. And like the horse is bucking and sort of like its eyes are flitting around, but yeah, Addie just kind of turns to you and are you all right? She says.
I'm fine. Oh.
Okay. She looks to you and you can understand. Like there are you can check on the people. Check on the. I'll deal with the horses. You check on the people.
Better idea. Thank you.
And then you see Addie sort of like she's grabbed the reins of this horse and she's just like strides off to the next horse and like shh, and sort of like forcefully stroking things into submission whilst carrying this horse with her along by its reins. Okay, so whilst that's happening, Amelia,
Yeah,
what
I
do
just
you
want to say, like, the other thing I'll do is she's like, check on the people, right? So my first instinct, make sure everyone's inside.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna kind of very sort of clumsily scramble up onto the top about here.
Mm-hmm.
Hold up my padlock, cast light, so that it's like a sort of beacon. Anyone still outside? In, quickly, please.
Okay. As you do that, you can you hear a voice from the darkness go, "What's happening?" And you watch as Frinka just sort of like staggers out of the darkness. What? Why is that horse flying? she shouts.
Just get in quickly, please.
Okay, and Frinka and one of like another wolfkin who's on the caravan expedition, they sort of like clamber onto the barricade, and like Frinka heads over to kind of check on you and see what's going on for everyone. Viktor, you have like reached the side of the barricades. What do you do?
I would like to look up and try and see if I can identify said creature or see it.
Okay, so
Perception?
give me a perception check. Yeah.
But I do have dark vision, and it is within 60 feet.
The 60 feet doesn't matter, but you do have dark vision.
Okay.
It's not gone into darkness yet.
17!
Okay.
5.
In which case, now that Galena has kind of pointed out that there's something invisible carrying this horse, and also now with the added bonus of the light emanating from Milia's padlock, the light kind of reflects over this form, and you can just about make out that the horse is being carried, that the creature that's carrying the horse is four-legged. It's carrying the horse in what appears to be its front claws.
Yep.
And it has these large kind of, they look potentially feathery wings. But beyond that, you can't really make out much more detail as the horse disappears through the foliage.
So, I think as Viktor sees this, his first reflex as a hunter would be to Hunter's Mark. Would I have had the time to Hunter's Mark either the creature or the horse?
Run me through the Is that the spell Hunter's Mark?
That is the spell Hunter's Mark, yeah.
You may
let me just
absolutely
roll it.
do that.
Yeah, because I believe it allows me to track a creature afterwards.
Sure. Realistically, because the creature that's carrying the horse is fundamentally invisible, but the horse is not, so you can Hunter's Mark the horse.
Yeah, I would have advantage on the perception wisdom. Okay, I'll try that. Yeah.
Okay. So as you cast Hunter's Mark, you using the primal magics that kind of dwell within you,
Cast
make
forward.
you more familiar with this horse. Yeah, as it disappears disappears up through the foliage, and like Victor, as you watch as this horse disappears, you all hear a final. Deafening roar. And
I think it got what it came for. It was obviously hungry. One of your horses makes a tasty snack for it. Afraid better it than me.
So, the camp is still a site of panic and confusion and frenzy, but Comstock, you stand on the barricades looking around, and you feel as if the worst has passed. What do you do?
Willis, spread the order. Get everything back up and running. Try and get the horses back in there.
You see the caravan guard just, I'm trying, as he's like wrestling with a horse that keeps on sort of like bucking. And you look around, and like the horses seem to be coming under control. You do see like Haladradis, so she strides around the caravans, sees like two horses kind of bucking. They've kind of crashed into the like under the awnings where her and Davin were a few moments ago, and they've kind of knocked over the planning table. And you see her sort of like gesture with her hand as runes appear around her staff, and she points her hands towards the horses, and you see the two horses that are kind of bucking slow and then kind of start swaying slightly, and as they boom, boom, fall asleep, like they collapse to the ground asleep. Davin looks up from behind the horses and goes, "Oh, you did it! You and he falls to the ground as well."
Comstock with that pitches himself from the wagon and approaches the stranger. He sheathed his sword, but he keeps one hand on the pommel and his shield up. Well, friend, what unholy monstrosity did you bring down upon us?
I apologize for this. It was not of my making. A sad coincidence, I'm afraid.
State your name.
Viktor.
And Victor will extend his hand.
Viktor Kasprezak.
Carmichael takes his hand off the hilt of his sword, reaches over and gives it a shake. Sir Carmichael Comstock.
An honor, I'm sure.
This remains to be seen.
I
What are
am
you doing out?
but a weary traveler, seeking shelter for the night.
Whereabouts did you come from, friend? There aren't many settlements out this way.
I'm a few weeks out of Varos, a town I'm sure you know and aware of. That's where you started. I know who you are.
You seem to know who we are, but we don't know anything about you. But
Of
we're
course,
on afoul of some bandits. You'll understand the cautious nature that I'm
Bandits?
expressing at the moment.
you must tell me more about this. It may interest me. You see, I'm a hunter, and I hunt many things.
Would you be amicable to handing me your weapon before entering the camp?
Of course, so long as you take care of it, please. It may need to be
will do.
cleaned as well.
Once we have better understanding of your motives, then we shall return her to you.
Of course, listen, I don't want to impose on your hospitality. All I seek is shelter just for one night.
Victor will hand over the rifle.
Given that I've been watching that exchange, I'm gonna wander over to where Milia and Vrinka are.
Yeah, I've absolutely kind of turned off the light and I'm sat looking inwards, like on the.
Yeah,
top.
I'm just gonna, as I come over to you, just like, good work there, girl. But next time we're attacked from the sky, maybe don't turn yourself into a target, eh?
I'd rather be a target and get everyone in safe.
The exuberance of youth. I'll tells in your hair. I guess if you're sitting down, you're for once actually low enough for me to do that. and I'll be like, Frinka, have you? This fella said he's been trailing us for a while. Have you come across any tracks of his before?
Frinka. So you notice that Frinka's just like got her arms crossed, and like she's got her arms crossed in front of her, but like in her right hand, she's got her like hunting knife, and you can see
Jilted
like,
ex-lover.
well, you can, so like her right hand's basically by her left side, and you can see her like tapping the knife against her side in a seemingly irritated manner. And she, like, you hear a growl, like, actively growl, and
just want to jump in something very quickly. When you said been tracking us for a while, you know that sort of moment when a flash of panic goes across someone's face, but they just like hide it very quickly. You'll definitely notice that coming from Milia.
Let me see if I definitely will notice that. I'm just going to chuck an insight
You're
at it.
like right beside her, you'd notice.
Okay, cool. But I mean, if she's very bad at hiding it, fine.
Okay, so yeah, Galena, you see that on Milia's face. You hear the growl come from Frinka, and then she tilts her head, puckers her lips, and no, I did not see any tracks.
Old friend of yours, is it?
She looks up and, not that I know of, and whether or not he will become one is to be seen, she says, and you can say, like, you know Frinka to be a very proud woman, and
not picking someone up like this
stings. And she just kind of she tuts, shakes her head, and sort of like yeah, she just jumps off and storms off.
Don't worry about it. You're doing great so far. You've only been captured and not found someone trailing us.
Not helping.
Keep up. Keep it up, girl.
Very good.
Yeah, and I'll just as I head past Milia, I like, I think we need to have a talk about this a bit later, girl, and go back and see what's become of Comstock and our new friend.
Okay. So the Comstock and Victor, have you headed back in?
Yes, yep. I imagine. But he can't ask David because David's fast asleep. But he speaks to possibly this guard here and ask him to be a guard duty on our new friend.
Sure. Have you discovered new lost cities? Found any lost people or settled this new town you were talking about?
Apart from the bandits, you're the only other person we have come across, and now this flying thing from the sky.
Is that so? Interesting.
Whilst you're saying that, you hear there's a big kind of fluffy thudding noise as Comstock, you're kind of slightly shunted out the way, and Horse the bear sits in the hole in the front of the stables, and just like the bear sits at one end, Addy stands at the other, just to kind of make sure that the horses that have been penned back into what's left of the stables don't leave. But this bear is just sat on its hind haunches.
Speaking of this bear,
yes.
Now that he's kind of come forward into the light, those wounds on his side that aren't healing great, are they looking about the same kind of size as whatever was grabbing that horse before?
Oh.
You know, Galena, you can't help but consider that a very good hypothesis, a very good observation. Yes.
Okay.
The size of the claws on the side of the bear's flank would tally up with the size of the creature that carried that horse away.
Those wounds still looking pretty gnarly as well at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming the bear is friendly?
So far, it seems to have been our good friend Addy has calmed it to the point it is...
Hi! You hear the keeper shout from the other side of the stable.
Hello?
To the point it is amicable.
What do you mean so far? This is not a tame bear?
As long as Addy trusts it, I trust it.
It's the same as you are, lad. We found it in the wilderness as well.
Pretty wild then.
I think its name is Horse. I think she called it Horse.
It's a working title.
Addy, was it horse you'd called it?
Sorry, I'm really busy right now.
And do you have a horse named Bear as well, or is that how it works?
That's a good idea. We should do that.
Yeah,
We did have a horse called Bear.
I'm sorry, I'm very rude. My name is Viktor. It's a pleasure to meet you all.
He gestures each of the companions to identify themselves.
Milia Searlast.
A pleasure. And your name?
Galena Orpiment. You may have heard of me. Probably haven't though, because I don't tell anyone. What brings you out into the woods?
I'm an outdoorsman. I enjoy the hunt mostly.
From the back of stables, you hear, "My name's Dryaddy Aram, but you can call me Addy."
Hello, Addy. Nice bear.
Thanks.
Would it want a good? Would it want a good berry?
The bear's already full up of good berries.
Given like how many good berries the thing has had, they're like 2,000 calories a berry. It's probably getting quite, like the Fat Bear week. It's probably getting to that.
Oh my god, I love
stage.
Fat Bear Week.
So, Victor, as you sort of like scanning around, you can see that there are a number of caravan guards that are eyeing you suspiciously, and you also you can almost feel this heat on the back of your head, as you feel a stare burrowing into your skull, and you hear a somewhat deep, authoritative voice say, "I was unaware we were taking on any new expeditioneers."
This is more lending a helping hand to a fellow traveler, but I do have questions before any decisions will be made. I would obviously leave any final decision to the heads of the caravan.
From what I understood, Haladradis, I think Devon's the leader of this caravan, right?
Devon is unfortunately somewhat, and you can hear from the stables, somewhat incapacitated.
Did the horses get him? Is he okay?
I don't think Horse ate him. It's not in his nature, from what I can tell.
Haladradis kind of
Does he do that?
Haladradis tilts her head and no, a horse did not get him. But you say you were from Varos, stranger, but
Although not originally, but after the eschaton, that is where I end up.
I was under the impression that Varos was very clear on who could and could not leave. The caravans were the first out the gate, so how was it that you got ahead of us?
I have my tricks.
You hear like the face on the Majani wizard like becomes a little more stony. She kind of regards you a bit more, and it's one thing to be from Varos. It is another thing to be over 100 miles away from Varos, in the vicinity of an Explorers League expedition caravan.
Yes, quite a lot of walking. But it's okay, you were going slowly, so it was fine.
If you were so interested in the caravan, why did you not join us? Why did you not enlist?
I was working, busy. I have to find food and get water and find the wood, and also there's a few beasts that needed tracking as well.
The wizard takes a deep breath, and then she kind of looks to the rest of you, and it seems like she holds her gazes to you long enough that it's almost like she's wordlessly trying to ask you for your opinions, like your thoughts. So going round, first she looks to Comstock. What's Comstock thinking?
Comstock is naturally untrusting at the moment. He's got Victor's firearm resting behind him. Obviously, he's standing between him and it. But there's a sort of a relaxed air about him at the moment. But it's clear that he's not 100% trusting this stranger just yet.
So, I suppose if you've got Victor's firearm, the one thing you notice about this rifle that you've got, this rifle that this hunter's turned up with, in itself, they're decidedly uncommon. Being a soldier, you would have seen like the use of firearms in relatively small numbers. They tended to be put where the firepower was the magical firepower was needed most. But the technology behind a firearm, a two-handed, it's almost like a two-handed.
It's a far nicer boomstick for someone who's out hunting.
Yes, yeah, it is a remarkable. It's a surprisingly good quality firearm, very well kept, I would expect, very well maintained, and I mean, you're not sure of how well or how it fires, like what it fires, but it looks in very, very good nick. Okay, so you've got this kind of trustworthy look on your face, but you're feeling okay because you've got the rifle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Halidradis's look carries on to. She scans across to. She can see Milia over in the far. Over on another caravan.
Very noticeable. To pretty much Haldradis, definitely. There's a lot, like, she can probably see the like relief on Milia's face more than anything, because Victor had to ask my name to know who I was, and didn't look at the book. So she is quite chill about this entire situation now.
Okay. In which case, Galena, perception 11. Okay. Halidradis's brow kind of furrows as she sees. She's picked up on the relief, and for a moment she dwells on why you're relieved. But then her look carries on to finally Galena.
So, I may not trust this guy, but I'm confident of one thing, and that is that accepting him into the caravan will annoy Halidradis. So, just be like, well, you said we were in danger of running out of food, so an extra hunter couldn't hurt.
Halidradis, like, looks to you, tilts her head, and like her eyes widen, like open slightly, as she realizes that you've used one of her recent kind of concerns against her. And like the look on her face is one that says, "Well played."
I'll give her my sweetest little smile.
In which case, Halidradis returns her look to you, Comstock, and keep watch on that man's firearm. And she stops and thinks and kind of looks in the direction where the horse disappeared, and then slowly turns her head back and, "You're a hunter, yes?"
Of course. Yes.
Haladrada straightens. "In which case, for the safety of the caravan, I would task you four," and she looks to Comstock, Viktor, Milia, and Galena, "with tracking that horse and finding out what became of it, and hopefully finding out more about this beast."
No problem.
And Victor turns and leaves. And he
Maybe in the
goes,
morning, Vic.
he goes beyond the caravan, starts climbing or going through the center.
Haladradis, Gillian, as you shout maybe in the morning, Haladradis cuts you off, and then with a smirk of her own, no. Now, while the scent is still fresh.
I'm filling up my wine flask. That is why I came to see you. It's been empty for a few days.
"You can have mine," shouts Addy.
Comstock gives Haladranus a long look as she's giving out this order. He sort of takes Victor's firearm, and as he approaches him, he tosses it to him for him to catch.
Victor will catch it.
Oh,
And
most kind.
you're gonna need it. And as he climbs up next to Galena, are you getting the same feeling I am here, Lady Galena?
A kind of overwhelming apathy.
No, well, yes, there's a sense of that, but he sort of casually, as he's just prepping his stuff, looking like he's busying himself, is like, are you getting the feeling that you may have pushed Haladranus's buttons and now she's punishing us?
I think she'd have found a way to get at us sooner or later. Seems like she's fancying herself the queen of this caravan.
Yes, I'm noticing that as well. And I don't like it.
Well, sure, we can get this sorted out, and worst comes to the worst, I'll just poison her. I mean, I'll poison the camp's opinion of her with rumors.
Comstock looks down at you with his, just one eye and just rolls it for a second, just like, good save. But I have the feeling Haladranus doesn't expect us to return from this, so let's prove her wrong, yes?
I think most of us are tend to be a little bit unexpected, so... Oh, by the way, been out doing some bit of tinkering and trying out something. I just take out a small vial, probably only about 3 inches long, stoppered at the top, kind of sealed with wax. And the liquid inside is shifting as I hold it. Kind of like one of those cheapy tree lights where it's one color and then slowly kind of morphs into another and then another. It's like, no. I need someone who's pretty resilient to maybe give this a shot at some point. I should do something fun for you, but I'm not 100% on what yet. If you get into a tight spot, knock that back and probably be helpful.
Comstock takes it, looks to it a second, looks to Galena. Okay. I will trust you on this.
I will dabble in your snake oil merchant.
Hey, if there's one thing I can guarantee, it's that it'll do something.
It won't give me like a third arm or something, will it?
Hold on.
That is a very long pause, Galena.
Consult my notes.
You are not filling me with a lot of confidence here.
No, I think. Look, whatever it is, it'll be temporary, probably pretty cool.
You and I have a very different definition of cool, Galena. But he puts it in his belt pouch, and he's like, "We'll need every edge we can get." Thank you.
Bad Comstock. I owe you one.
Oh,
Well, I help you. I give you this stuff. You help me by seeing what it does. Working on something.
a fair exchange, I'm sure. If you
Okay.
stay close, I have a feeling we may need my shield before long.
Sounds good.
So I could use a little bit of light around here. I'm trying to pick up the droplets of the horse that was taken.
Oh yes, that's probably why I was sent. Light back on.
Most excellent. Yes.
Jump down surprisingly nimbly, and look up to Comstock and Galena before continuing onwards.
Okay.
I mean, this is like a bit close to a height for me, so I'm probably going to start like very awkwardly clambering down the side of the caravan, like. Yeah, what were you going to say, Carl?
Comstock before saying Galena just climbing down, he was just watching.
It's going to take me a while, so you have time.
I would imagine Comstock would at least offer a hand, but he's like, surprisingly brave when she wants to be that Galena, isn't she?
Yeah, still trying to work her out. Strange girl.
Do you want a hand? This looks very difficult.
I'm fine. Yeah.
Pride cometh before the fall, and he helps Galena
Yeah, when
down.
you say the word fall, she's like, right, fine. Okay.
Okay. So as the four of you kind of
That's a quick
gather
question,
together.
DM
Yes.
Dan. Did we get at least a short rest, or are we still unrested from our last encounter?
You all have the benefits of a short rest.
Fantastic, thank you. As you were saying, sorry.
So yes, as the four of you gather at the periphery of the camp, you see just kind of a good head and shoulders over one of the nearest kind of carts. You see Addie alongside this bear, and she's kind of waving to you, and we'll if the camp moves on, I'll let you know somehow.
Keep it safe in our absence. I'm trusting you.
She nods and kind of gives you a wave, and you hear a roar from horse.
Horse, keep her safe. I'm trusting you.
In which case, as the four of you head off into the darkness, as Viktor, Milia's padlock lights up, you're able to see a few kind of droplets of blood in the direction you were expecting to be. So as you kind of bring your rifle back over your shoulder, and you begin tracking. Let's grab a short break.
Yay!
Enjoy the stinger.
See you in a bit. Ah, Viktor. Just the man I wanted to see, actually.
So, you think you've got what it takes to become an explorer?
Yes.
Well, if you want to join, give a like and subscribe, and we'll consider your application.
But yes, but it's my... What? Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining us again. Hello, everyone. Hi.
Hello again. We're back.
Hi.
Hello.
That was quite the stinger, Dan. That was impressive work.
Yeah, that was really cool.
The
That's hard work.
stuff and the things happened. Yes.
All the stuff and things.
Yes.
And I hope it's taught people at home a very valuable lesson to
It was
do all the
informative.
things
and stuff.
and stuff.
Anyway, right, so we rejoin our explorers some distance away from the camp. And it's been about an hour since you left the camp. Aided by Milia's light, because presumably that's our light source. Is anyone else carrying light sources?
Yeah, I'll have lit up. Use my alchemical tinkering just to pour some fluorescent goo on a stick or something.
Okay. What's the is that a 2040 range on that as well?
That is.
Lots of goo this session.
That's just what I do, baby.
That's good enough. Yeah.
It's
all
tiny.
good.
Bright light in a 5-foot radius, dim light for 5 feet.
5'10", yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crap.
Boom. Okay. So Galena, you're like, I'm helping. As you stand next to a 40-foot glowing padlock. Okay, so yeah, as you're heading along, Viktor,
Yes.
what have you made of the who have you spoken to like over the past hour? Like, what insights have you delved into?
I think Viktor has been boring them with all kinds of facts about tracking the horse and the animal and what kind of habitat they live in, and they should watch out for this plant and this route has this particular
property that it's very useful. You should maybe get Galina. Maybe you should get some. You would like it. So if we go beyond this hill, there's a little brook, and then beyond that, there's a forest and
he'll just continue rambling.
I am definitely actually going to get some of whatever that is, though.
Darting along.
Galena, roll me a survival check.
Ooh. Sounds like a laugh. Let's do that. 18.
Hey.
Ooh.
You're taking all the good rolls.
In which case, Galena, yeah, as you kind of like scamper off with your glowing, your personal light source.
Glowing goo.
Basically about as bright as like a phone screen.
Yes.
Don't go too far, please.
You like you watch as like the rest of you watch as Galena kind of like disappears into sort of like the tree line. And Galena, as you sort of like you've seen one of the routes that Viktor's just been describing kind of poking out from a bush, and as you kind of pull it, you see this root poking out, and as you start kind of digging it up, you gain, let's say, D4 plus 1. So 3. You grab 3 supplies.
Oh, amazing.
Let's call it that. So we'll mark that on your character sheet. 3
Cheers, yeah, I'll do
supplies. Just under the word inventory. And yeah, you looking at it from what Viktor was telling you, the herbalistic properties of this root may come in very, very handy for experiments and sort of like bonding agents, and sometimes healing people.
That one is good for hemorrhoids. That's that one you got.
I hear that, Comstock.
Charming.
Oh, it's true.
So
Maybe you can make a goo or something,
So, Viktor, I had to ask.
Of course.
Ex-military, by any chance?
No, not so. To be fair, I was a town's guard for some while, but that was more on a voluntary basis.
I see. It's just your firearm is a little. How to put this? A little rather expensive for a man out hunting deer and game.
You noticed. Observant man, I can tell.
You see, people seem to think that when you lose one eye, you see half as much, but you really have to look twice as hard at everything, and you notice a lot more than you used to.
And wise as well.
Experienced.
Was that as well?
No, I was a gamekeeper, a game warden. That's why I have so much experience in the wilds.
I see. Are we close to our quarry?
Let me look.
Continue tracking the blood, I guess.
Yeah, give me a survival check with advantage because you're tracking that horse.
That's right.
Hunter's mark.
Hey, take a guidance as well.
Woo! Whoop! Whoop!
Survival. Plus 1d4 advantage. Let's go. 15. Ooh, it's a 9 and a 1. Okay. 15 total. Oh, it was a 5, 9, and a 1. Okay.
5 and a 9, and then 1 on the guys. Okay, 15.
Pretty good.
Yes, you're definitely still on track. It seems that whatever carried this horse away, kind of like went up through the foliage of the canopy overhead at the camp, but has since kind of come back under, like it's kind of flying close to the tops of the trees. Like low enough that clearly the horse's feet are just kind of crashing into the tops of the trees and leaving a subtle but noticeable trail of kind of debris to follow. There's also the occasional few spots of blood, but they're kind of relatively far and few between. Given how long you've been going, it would make sense that this horse might have just stopped bleeding by this point.
Sure.
Okay, we're still on track. And you, Sir Comstock, what is your background?
Ex-military, Hugerstadt.
I would not have guessed.
I was awarded the title of Knight of Hill. So,
Very impressive.
Sir Comstock to you.
Sir Comstock, of course. And you, Galina, where do you come from?
Here and there. Been around. Been just living by myself after working on stuff for a while. But yeah, same as you after the eschaton ended up back in Varus.
Yes, like many. And you, Milia?
I used to be a locksmith in Glassmere, and then I was chosen by the gods, and now I'm here.
I understand. Now, how were you chosen exactly?
Pulls up the scarf again. Something happened, and
It was a raffle, right?
Must have been that. A lottery raffle. That's how the gods usually operate.
So I've heard.
Sure. Yes. Yeah, must have been.
Comstock has just had his head turned slightly with his one guy looking at Melina. He and then turns back to look at the road. Melina.
As you so Victor, you roll your shoulders slightly as a chill goes up your spine. You can still see that like you've been on a relatively upward incline for some time, and snow that has made it kind of through the canopy still kind of lays on the forest floor. Or this sort of like this path, this clearing, this route that you're taking, and like as the stone kind of crunches underfoot, you kind of size Melia up a few times, because I mean this is a nice of our woman in a dress, and like you especially notice it when she kind of readjusted her scarf, and like the more elderly part of you as you roll your shoulders in your very warm outdoorsman's jacket wonders what on earth this Asavar is doing. Or she'll catch a cold, she'll catch a death. But you're also, you can see that her left arm is shaking slightly because she's been holding this padlock up kind of at 90 degrees to herself for so long. But you've noticed that she's not ever switched the padlock to her right hand, which is currently holding a black tome under her elbow, like under her shoulder.
Additional detail: the black tome is also like not locked, but it has 2 belts on like one across the like width and one across the breadth, just like pulled tight across it.
Okay. Comstock and or Galena, you've spent enough time with Malia now, but you know you've seen that these belts never come off the book. Unlike Addie, who's forever opening her notebook up to scribble or doodle.
So Comstock at that point then is walking along, and he's sort of, I said he's been occasionally looking back and listening to Malia, and he's like, Lady Malia,
Yes.
Your book. I have noticed that you haven't exactly cast any spells from it or opened it at all. I assume that... And he looks at the padlock. I assume it isn't any form of magical foci to you.
No.
That would be the lock in your hand, correct?
I don't even really need this. It's just sentimental more than anything, and I made this, so.
So the book is not a part of your magical
Galena,
skills.
I'm just gonna skip in at this point. Roll me an Arcana check.
I'd love to. I'm
Oh.
staring at that book. It's a natural one.
It's a natural one. Okay.
Oh dear.
Did you want to use your inspiration?
I did want to use my inspiration. What a wonderful
No!
question. I'm feeling inspired
We all have
by
inspiration.
my sheer quantity of
all
nosiness
have
about this book.
inspiration, Yeah.
Let's see if I
Do
can
we
do
now?
literally any better.
Please, another nat one. That'd be so funny.
Okay, 20.
Okay. Like as Comstock saying, "Oh, you know, is that your spell book? Oh, is it, you know."
I'm just going to say that's clearly not your spell book.
Yeah. Like Galena, you've pieced together, especially from the stories that you know the things that Malia has said, the stories that you've heard, that Malia is one of these sorcerers they're referred to. So she's unlike Haladradis, who learn how to control the arcane, like control magic, or like she's not like a cleric who prays to the pantheon for their powers. Milia herself is a conduit of mana, so she is the arcane focus, or in this case the divine focus. So yeah, the padlock being sentimental, the book definitely not being a spellcasting focus of any kind.
Does that does the book, as far as I can see, have any kind of magical nature to it at all? Is it a spell book, just not necessarily hers, or does it seem like just a mundane book?
How would Lane? How would you describe this tome?
So it's fairly ornate, like our lovely DM said earlier. It's mostly black. The belts are around it, but it's also got a lot of like the edges are very clearly burnished. There's like gold that's probably slightly faded now in like all the positions she's been holding it. Like there's got this like gold silver filigree. It looks important, but it probably doesn't look that magical.
Okay. Is there any like creasing on the spine? Does it look like it's been read much?
Probably like a very small bit, but it doesn't look like. I know from where you are, like the view you've got, like from lower on, it doesn't look like it's been opened probably at all for maybe months.
Okay.
So I assume it has more importance to you as whatever it is, rather than as something that helps you with the arcane.
You
You don't have to answer if you don't need.
could say
I'm sorry
that,
to
yes.
pry.
No.
Listen, Milia. Women's secrets are important, but can you just please confirm that that thing isn't going to cause us any trouble?
If it comes to it, it will only cause me trouble and not you.
Right, but is that trouble going to involve anything catching on fire, or exploding, or?
No.
Feeling a little envious there, Galena.
Look, things should only catch on fire at the proper time when they're done carefully, or if it's funny.
He thinks of the potion in his belt pouch, like.
Well, just let us know maybe before it comes to the point where you're being abducted by 7 armed wolves or whatever.
Wouldn't that be after your potions got to them if they have 7 arms?
Hardly ever. I don't know where this comes from.
The fact you say hardly and not
Hardly
never.
ever.
7
We would-
Anyway, yeah, Milia and her book is what we were talking about, yes.
Yes.
Like I said, if it comes to it, it won't cause you problems. It will only cause me problems. And that's fine.
Well, hopefully it won't come to that. We'll.
Well, we're all a little bit on our own out here, so stuff that causes you problems might cause us problems. Like, what if Comstock's other eye comes out? He's going to need someone to put that back in.
What's this? I don't have a lot of offensive leanings, so I could probably do so.
And I hope to keep my other eye. I'm somewhat attached to it. My other ear as well, if I can help it.
That's very reasonable.
We're getting closer, I think.
Yeah, Victor, you can see that the trees that are kind of flanking the path that you're following are starting to become more sparse, and the chill is much more noticeable. Like, since you've left the camp, you have gained some considerable height, like above sea level kind of thing. And you find yourself like the path ahead of you kind of crests, and you find yourself so Victor, you reach what you described earlier as a small brook. For everyone else, what you see is an extremely deep ravine, at the bottom of which a small stream runs, gently kind of drifts along. It is bitterly cold up here. The snow that is laying looks like it's been here for some considerable time. But what you notice just on the edge of Amelia's light, you can make out the other side of the in actual fact, the moon's out, so
We see things.
So Milia's padlock is still shedding light, but the moonlight around it casts enough light across this kind of exposed valley ravine type thing that you can see that on the other side is what appears to be
Bear the horse.
That's what I was going to say.
what appears to be a horse. What do you do?
And we can see it.
Ah.
Right.
And further up, you see a rope bridge connecting the two sides of the ravine.
We are very close. If you don't mind, I would like to scout ahead.
Yeah, you go for it.
Victor will step forward.
Wait. Before you go.
Sure.
Puts hand on your shoulder, casts Enhance ability.
Oh,
That's Grace.
dope.
Very
Nice.
So,
Thank you. I assume this is some kind of enchantment.
Yes.
My limbs feel a bit smoother. My arthritis is gone mostly.
Oh, I didn't know it did that. I'll make a note of that.
it's good, I like it.
As you're thanking Malia, you'll feel a small but sharp pain in the back of your leg as I jam a little syringe into it and like, right, as I cast resistance on you. That'll help keep you sharp. Right, off you pop.
He's just swat at something with his rifle.
Is that you, Galina?
It's okay. Yeah.
You sure I'm okay?
Probably, yes.
Don't do it again.
I sure won't.
Comstock leans up behind Galina. Is he going to grow a third arm?
Let's find out. No.
So, Victor, you have advantage
reliable.
on dexterity checks.
Then should I roll a stealth, please?
You're a little bit scary,
You're going
Galina,
stealth,
sometimes.
Thank you very much.
Stealth advantage.
Shakes his head, mutters to himself. Wasn't really a compliment, but okay.
18.
Okay.
So, he's just gonna go into crouch, rifle at the low ready, and he'll just be scanning the ground in front of him and above to see if he sees anything.
In which case, yeah, as you're stealthing along, you kind of glance over and you reason it's probably about a 80 to 100 foot drop down into this ravine. You and sort of like the cold wind that's blowing through this area is almost making this kind of melodious tune as it weaves its way through the ravine to your right.
He'll say to the crew,
If you hear an owl hoot twice, come forward to where I was.
Okay.
Right. Oh, as you head off, I'll pop up to you and I'll give you the. I'll probably actually just scrape it off the stick onto a rock and give you the glowing rock and just say, pop that in your pocket. You can use it to signal us if you need.
Interesting. I like it.
Okay.
so Victor will creep forward. If he needs, he'll stop and make a perception check, but if not, just use passive. And as he arrives here, he will hoot.
So yeah, as you reach the left hand, sort of the western end of the rope bridge, you can see it stretches out in front of you, and this bridge means, you crossed this bridge a couple of times already. It's a good sturdy bridge.
Oh no, okay, so I'm familiar with the terrain. So he hooted, and so he's gonna wait until the crew kind of gets to near where he is, and then he'll.
Okay. So as the rest of you head up, you notice that Galina is giving the edge of the ravine a very wide berth.
Oh shit! Oh god.
And yeah, as you go, Millie, you bring in the light source. While they're heading over, Victor, yeah, you can see that the horse is kind of appears to be lying on its side, on the other side of the ravine.
He'll start crossing the bridge. We'll give it a quick glance just to make sure it's still sound.
Really, step closer.
Oh, okay.
So you might want to pop that light out.
All right.
You turn in the light off?
I'm gonna kind of like wrap my scarf around it,
Okay.
so it smothers the light for now. But if I need to, I can just pull it back out.
Pop out. Okay. Cool. So whilst you're discussing that, you've noticed that Victor's moved all the way across the bridge. Comstock, what are you doing?
He's sneaky, isn't he? Oh. Barely even saw him disappear. I guess Comstock's just waiting for the
Second
hoots.
You know, Friska said she hadn't seen hide nor hair of him. Very mysterious.
That worries me.
Victor will hoot twice.
Okay. So you all hear a second set of double hoots echo across the ravine.
Oh.
It's difficult to see where Victor is in the gloom, but you hear them nonetheless.
Lady Galena, will you need any assistance crossing the bridge?
Actually, I thought probably someone should watch our backs, so I'll just stay on this side in case of bandits.
Lady Galena,
Bandits.
we will need your expertise. There's no shame in admitting that you may be uncomfortable with something, and there's no shame in asking for help.
I'm very comfortable with it, thank you very much.
Would you like to go first, then?
I'm going to do a quick wisdom save.
What you need is a blindness potion. Just drink it and then hop across. No.
Oh no!
So Galena just strides up to the front of the bridge, puts her hands on the posts, and just kind of stands there.
The combination of the ropes being designed for a Lorivar-sized user, so you'd have to reach up to grab the ropes, and also with your smaller frame, the gaps between the planks of wood seem that much more intimidating.
And the fact that there's it's not even walking on good solid earth that I know I can do stuff with. Nah. So I'm just standing there here I go.
You've got this. You're
Comstock
doing fine.
kneels beside you. I believe in you, Lady Galena.
You know, the gaps are quite large, so maybe Kami, if you just can you carry me across?
I would be happy to,
Please.
Lady Galena.
You could wrap her up in your cloak
I would be happy to. And
like a baby swaddle.
if you would like, no one has to know.
That might be for the best. I'm just gonna grip onto you and close my eyes until it doesn't feel like bridge anymore.
Lost me.
and then Comstock carries Galena across.
Right.
Aw.
Okay.
Don't tell the keeper.
Not
and what's
a
Melia
word.
Just walking across.
All right,
whilst-
show off.
Whilst they're
Whatever.
crossing, Anton, what's Victor doing?
I imagine he's just been on the other side going, who? Hoot?
Victor, can Victor identify a high point to? Is this this bud there? Is it down from us or up from us?
So basically you've crossed over to the other side of the ravine. You're on what appears like a small kind of ledge. The ravine, or the area you're at, wraps down and then kind of goes a bit higher.
Oh, so where I'm pointing now, this is higher.
That is higher, correct? Yes.
Okay.
By
So
about
Victor would like
10-15 feet.
to identify a higher area to be on.
Sure.
So maybe he climbs up
Sure.
to here.
Yeah, in which case, as you kind of clamber up onto a slightly higher vantage point, as you kind of get a better look around, you've got a passive of 15, eh?
It's going to be on Overwatch.
Yeah, no, the fact he's humming Indiana Jones, just so I know exactly where this is going.
The fact that he rolled some dice means something happened.
Okay, Victor, you climb up onto the rock and you
Kali
kind
Ma,
of look out,
motherfuckers.
and you look left and right, and sort of like the clouds lays overhead. Like the clouds are illuminated in the night sky. You can see the moon shining brightly from between them. You notice, like as you peer up and watch, you see what appears to almost like it's like an ever so faint aurora borealis type coloring, like lighting in the sky. Just some, you don't know what it is. You assume it's something magical, some sort of residual mana in the air, but that's catching the moonlight and shining different colors. But you kind of look out and appreciate, just despite how chilly it is, how peaceful it is. You then hear a deafening roar as the other three are crossing the bridge, and you turn to look and give me another perception check.
Okie dokie. Advantage?
Or
Or-
no.
Sure. Normal.
Yeah.
18.
Okay. You immediately recognize that as the call of the beast, but you look around and the ravine makes the roar seemingly kind of reverberate to the point where you can't actually figure out, did it come from the south, from the north, from behind us, from in front of us? The rest of you hear it whilst you're about halfway across.
Yeah.
And if I can have perception checks from the three of you, just in case.
Off the bridge, quick, go, please.
This would be normal or disadvantage?
Disadvantage because it's dim light.
10.
Given that it's already disadvantage and my current situation, I'm probably not going to roll for it if that's all right, because
Sure.
I don't think Galina's got the wherewithal to
Just eyes are shut, like.
Yeah.
Okay, in which case, Victor, as you kind of see what's happening, and you look down the bridge, and as you shout to, like, you can hear Millie going, off the bridge! You see, like, you hear like the flapping of large wings, and seemingly from nowhere, a globule of what looks like glowing mucus flies out towards the bridge and strikes
shit.
the rope, strikes the planks, and you see the rope snap as this globule seemingly is acidic. You watch the three on the bridge rock to one side, and then you see movement, like ever so slight, like moonlight caught on the shape of a translucent creature as it drops and seemingly heads towards the bridge. And everyone on the bridge, you fall like Comstock. You kind of grab, or you both. Comstock and Comstock and Milia grab onto the right hand rope as the left one goes loose and the bridge kind of slumps to the left, and you're then flung as something collides with the rope bridge and stretches it to the point that the other rope snaps, and the three of you go tumbling down into space, holding on to your bits of rope, and you bam, swing and smash into the side.
Galina's hanging on to like Comstock, isn't she?
Galina's hanging on to Comstock. Comstock and Milia, you're hanging on to, like, you are sort of like 20 and 30 feet down the side of the ravine, respectively. And Galina's holding on to Comstock. We'll roll for initiative.
Yeah.
Cool.
Let's go.
Hold on tight, Galina!
I literally couldn't be holding any tighter!
Got a 10.
You got a 10, and...
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, everyone's faster than... Oh, dear.
So, in which
Yeah, I got
case,
+5.
Galina, you you feel your body go weightless as the rope drops out from under Comstock's feet, and as you just like sloth baby around his torso. like you get crushed between the wall of the ravine and Comstock as he bam slams into the ravine wall. But you you manage to look around. What do you want to do? You are currently so you are let's say you are 15 feet down.
Fantastic news. Okay.
15 feet from the ledge, let's say.
Are we up against the ravine wall?
Yes. So fundamentally, Comstock is holding onto this rope, currently one-handed, and like the planks are kind of dangling off it. Some have fallen away. There's another rope, so the left-hand rope is hanging limply, about less than 5 foot off to your left. Beneath Comstock, you can hear Milia. Whoa. Milia, you would have had one hand free, right?
Yep.
So you see Milia is holding onto the rope with one hand with the book under the other.
Cool. Okay. How far below? So is Milia below us?
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, Milia is about
Damn it,
25
okay.
feet from the ravine ledge. So what do you do?
Haladradis. Okay. Would I be able to use mold earth to try and create like a little platform for at least me and Comstock to grab onto if we're close enough? I don't know if we're close enough to Milia for that or not.
So you're only 10 feet away from Milia, and that's got
it's
a
only
range
like
of
a little 5 foot chunk I can mold
feet.
earth of. So
you can certainly, using mold earth, you can certainly pull like stone out of the ravine side to give someone a platform, like a 5 foot platform to stand on.
cool. Okay. I think I'd only be able to do that reasonably for Comstock and I, especially given that I'm basically attached to Comstock at the moment. So yeah, I'll do that for us.
Okay.
So yeah, drop the bloody book, Gert. Get the rope.
Milia
about all I can do
is
for now, I think.
frantically shaking her head. Also, just just don't mind me. Just don't mind me. Okay, cool. That's not a Galena roll, by the way. Okay, so as you cast mold off,
Galena's evil twin, Galena.
so you're producing like earth underneath Comstock's feet. So Comstock, you managed to get a better purchase. Is there anything else you're doing, Galena?
I don't think I can usefully do much else other than, I guess, like try and start holding onto the rope and maybe trying to pull Milia up, but I doubt it's going to help much.
Okay. In which case, Comstock.
He first looks down to Galena. It's like, Galena, a smart idea. Well done. But I need you to climb up. Just if you can get to the top, at least there's one less person I need to worry about. You can do it. I believe in you. Believe in yourself.
It's difficult to make out emotions, I think, from the eyes of a Terran, right?
Top of your head as well.
Yeah, you can only really see the top of my head, and my eyes are not human eyes, but I'm pretty sure that you can see that is going to be a hard time.
Yeah.
It's a bold move. Let's see how it plays out.
Yeah.
And then he sort of like, once he's done that, he looks down to Milia and he's like, put your feet into the wall! Try to twist the rope around your wrist! As he sort of does that with himself, sort of to give himself a better purchase.
Okay. So you're sending Galena on.
Well, yeah, he's gonna attempt to sort of like climb with Galena if he needs to, but he's gonna try and get up, and then I think the plan will eventually be try to pull Milia's rope.
Are you offering Milia the help action?
I'm offering whoever, but firstly, this Galena would be the help action because Milia just gave me one of those. But I think because he spoke to Galena first, Galena would be who he's basically.
So I mean, don't worry too much. Like, I'm standing on a tiny ledge, whereas Milia is, potentially about to turn to a red stain.
Okay, so in that case, yes. Then he's basically shouting down to Milia what to do to not plummet. So again, twist her, plant her feet into the wall, twist, and then sort of always give her that sort of purchase.
Okay.
Help action.
Help action.
Very long way of saying help action.
Yeah.
Okay, very, very, very good. Malia.
Okay. Absolute panic in her eyes for a second before. Twist the rope, twist the rope. And she just closes her eyes. Thinks back to the incident. Summon the strength in the same way you did before. Quicken spell. Enhance ability, bull strength on myself.
I'm gonna stop you there
Oh.
because
Does it require?
it requires semantic spellcasting.
Okay.
Oh no.
And both your hands are occupied. I mean, you can, but you'd have to do it real quick.
Okay. Give me a second.
You could be very strong when you hit the ground.
Should I have a backpack?
Then I will subtle spell it instead.
Ooh! Very, very good. Very, very good. Without some verbal components. Yeah, spot on.
And then summon the strength the same way I broke the chains before.
Uh-huh.
And start to, as Comstock suggested, feet in, start trying to pull myself up.
Okay.
One arm. Nice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess you'd be able to, if you clamp the book under your armpit, you could just use that hand to take my strong hand. Right, give me a athletics check with advantage because you have ball strength. And we'll cast that off.
18.
Hello. Okay, so ball strength. Advantage on strength checks. Cool. 18 and a 19. Very, very good. Okay, so you start to make your way up. So what we'll do, let's just say that your 25 feet fundamentally will reduce to 7 as long as there's nothing in your way. So you're good to climb as it stands. Victor.
Can I locate the creature?
So you can see like bits of kind of wood at this point, like bits of wood and debris are still kind of flying, like arcing through the air where the bridge was, and you can you can hear the sound of this creature flapping. Roll me a perception check.
Sure. Ooh, the scary beast. Yeah. Damn it.
And you can see that like your eyes are caught up by the movement of the wood, and you just can't see this creature, like where this creature is. It's kind of camouflage, if that's what you want to call it, is proving to be too good. You can just hear it.
Then he will yell, "Friends, are you still alive?"
Just about.
You'll hear a voice. He will jump down. And I think because it's first time on initiative, I get extra movement. I'll check it up. But I think I get 40 foot. So I'm guessing it's going to take me 20 to get down.
Nah, it's fine. So you slide down the side of the cliff face, if you will.
Do I still have an action?
Yeah, you make it to the edge of the ravine, and you can see the three of them, like Comstock's trying to push a Galena up the rope, and
not trying to push her up the road. He's trying to give her a pep talk.
Like Malia's just
he's not a dick.
2 foot.
He's not like wee.
Catch the baby. And you can see like Malia's planted 2 feet firmly on the ravine wall, and she's looking hench. Like, whoa, she's looking pumped, and just wrapped this rope round her wrist, pulling it taut.
Dope. Victor will loop a rope.
Yeah.
Just make a quick loop and toss it down the chasm, so that if someone needs it, they can grip onto it.
Are you going to cowboy wrangle the Terran sprite?
Possibly. Yeah, that's a good idea. I like it.
Okay, cool.
No.
So there is now a second rope. Well, I guess a third rope at this point, dangling down from Victor. So
Grab onto the rope.
currently there are 3 in total. Very good. Anything else, Victor?
That's it.
Okay. Galena.
Okay. I'll see that kind of other rope come down from Victor and just... I will not let a wizard get the best of me. Not today. And I will... If I want to try and climb up, would that be an action, movement, or bonus, would you say?
That would be an action.
An action, okay, fine. So I will reach to my collar and shatter a little glass ampule that's in the lining.
Mm-hmm.
And as the vapor kind of reaches me, my eyes go a little bit brighter, and I'm going to try and just strength my way up here.
Okay.
Athletics?
Yeah.
Cool. So,
Are you using any of your abilities?
So that is my a charge of my armor of magical strength, which lets me add my
Hey!
Oh.
intelligence modifier. So
Whoa.
let's hope it works out, baby, because
Okay.
my athletics is terrible.
Says mine.
So yeah, you can add +4 when it asks you to.
Yeah.
For a situational bonus. And sorry, does this trigger like Comstock's help?
Oh, potentially. Actually, I think Comstock was helping me. What did you decide in the
Evidently,
end?
Malia didn't need it, so
Fair point.
if the M's happy to transfer,
Yeah,
then
that's fine.
Amazing.
Comstock readied the help action.
yes, that's I think the very whoa.
Oh!
Nice.
20.
Not that you seem
Ah.
to need it.
Okay, and as the vapors reach your nose and your eyes like widen, they go a bit shut, your eyes go a bit shinier, and Victor, you watch as Galena like flies up the side of this rope like a cat out of bathtub. And you manage to get up with such speed that you kind of hit the top of the rope and just kind of roll 5 feet, like stop, drop, and roll across the floor.
Right. Let's get him, lad.
Galena, you are up, and that was your action and fundamentally your movement. Comstock.
At this
Not
point,
cocaine.
seeing Galena just like, there we go, and seeing Malia also just.
See, we have strong female protagonists.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, fundamentally,
It's like, I don't need
I can only imagine Malia's not only like tearing up the rope, she's also managed to one-armed swing across, let go, grab onto the other rope.
Evidently, I need to pep the shit out of anyone. But the sentiment's there, I suppose. He basically at that point sort of obviously shield's on his back, his sword's sheathed, so he grabs hold of the rope and starts climbing himself.
Okay, roll me an athletics. 13. That will do. That reduces. So you catch up with Malia. You're both 7 foot from the edge. You start making your way up. Next up is Malia again.
Just talking to myself again, eyes closed. Summon the strength, break the chains, escape. Summon the strength, break the chains, escape. I'm gonna keep climbing.
Okay. Advantage athletics as you steam up this rope.
16.
That'll do.
Nice.
And so, Victor, you watch as this lithe little Ace of Our Lady just kind of just wrenches herself up the side with much more vigor than you'd anticipated. But you notice, what does it look like when you're concentrating on a spell? Like, is there any kind of magical artifacting about you?
I think for this one, you know how in this is gonna be a pull that ages me, but you know in Disney's Hercules where he's just starting to get his like godly powers back, and there's that very slight glimmery glow to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that because she's focusing on the strength. So...
Okay. Okie dokie. That sounds good. Brill. In which case, so Milia has pulled herself up. Viktor, what? We'll skip back to Comstock. Comstock, what do you do?
Push through and try to climb. I have inspiration, don't I? Yes,
Could
do.
Dan, would my rope count as helping? That would be the help action.
Comstock, as you start to climb, you look up and notice that your rope is beginning to fray. You can re-roll with... Oh, sorry. First off, I should have done this on the last one. Viktor, please give me a athletics check.
Oh dear. Okay. I'm okay, strong. Yeah, I'm very strong.
Nice.
You've passed the 8
20.
check, so Comstock, you may get a re-roll.
As the rope sort of starts snapping, he sort of starts swinging to the side and then leaps for the other one.
Okay, and you grab that, and as you swing, and the other rope kind of, like the rope snaps in your hand, like the first rope that you're holding onto snaps in your hand, and is like bits. The bottom half of it falls into the ravine, pulled down by the planks. And as you look up, Viktor, like you plant your feet, start climbing. Viktor starts pulling you up, and the four of you roll onto the ravine side.
You know, leather armor is a lot lighter than chain and mail.
As he gets rolls up, he pulls his shield off, pulls his swords out, and is like, "Yes, but it doesn't help so much against claws." Bang, bang, bang! As he starts slamming his sword into his shield, and I've had enough of this creature.
As you shout that, you hear another roar and the sound of flapping wings, and at this point you don't know whether the creature's coming or going. But Viktor, as you pull yourselves up, you all look, and this horse that was stolen from the camp lies next to you. It is thoroughly dead. It appears to, like, you can see where the claws that lifted it off the ground have sunken in deep enough and strong enough that it looks as if the rib cage has been broken. And there are great bloody chunks bitten out of its flank. One of its legs is missing. It seems like the creature has clearly descended on it in some sort of feeding frenzy, but in a very, very kind of chaotic way.
Are you able to tell us what this thing that hunts us, Viktor?
I'm afraid not. I'm not entirely familiar with all the new creatures that have emerged since the eschaton.
Does it bleed?
You know what? Probably most creatures bleed.
It's good enough for me.
Yes. If it bleeds, we can kill it.
There we go.
There we go.
Viktor, you take a look to the night sky, and yeah, you can't tell. You can't tell what direction this thing's coming from. You don't know where it is. Clearly, it's got some sort of acidic breath that it can spew out. But you realise that on this ledge, it's probably not the safest place to be against a flying invisible creature. When you were up on the ravine, you did notice there was a cave mouth.
Oh.
Let's move further up. It'll be safer there. We are exposed here.
And yeah. I think Viktor will take the short way and just climb up this.
Okay.
Can I just take a few seconds, like a round or so, to just check out the horse?
Yes.
And look at its wounds. Given that the bears were weird, I want to see what is going on with these wounds, whether it looks like a poison or an acid or some other sort of damage.
I will join in on that.
Give me medicine checks, anyone who's interested.
While that's happening, I was like, are you alright?
Oh!
Oh!
Baby.
Okay, we got a
Crit, yeah.
and a 7. Okay, Milia, the state of this horse makes you feel borderline nauseous to the point where you can't look at it for too long. Like, it's difficult to get close to see what's really happening. Galena, as you look, you notice that the claw marks seem like, despite the fact that this horse was abducted more than an hour ago, the wounds still look like they're fresh, like they haven't begun to kind of clot or thicken in any way. And you think back, and yes, this is a very, very similar wound to that you saw on the side of the bear.
Okay.
Whatever this creature's claws are made of or does or whatnot, it just seems to be stopping the natural healing process. You do notice, however, that the bite marks which are in themselves significantly fresher, they are starting to show, they do look like, in inverted commas, normal wounds, although you notice that in some of the bite marks, the meat of the horse, like the flesh of the horse, is kind of bubbled and like darkened. And off the back of your crit, you look at it and go, that's an acid burn.
I've got enough acid scars myself. I know an acid burn when I see one.
But you notice that it's only on some of the bites.
Okay.
Quick, make your way up.
I'll start making my way up with. Presumably, I'm still a little roided out anyway, so I'm just gonna run at the entrance. Some sort of anticoagulant on the claws, I think. Acid, teeth, maybe. Oh, we'll find out. One, if we can get a dead one, give it to me, please. Let's go.
Oh,
I
definitely gonna
promise.
Okay, so as some of you climb up,
I'm not climbing, I'm going around.
Milia takes the long route. So the three, Viktor, Galena, and Comstock, as you kind of get up to the ravine and you stand and you can watch Milia kind of running up this path. You again, like, you hear a flapping, like a very heavy flapping, and you watch, like, Viktor, you turn to look to see the horse start to move from just under the jaw, like something grabs onto its neck, and the horse begins to get dragged towards the ravine edge. And as, like, Comstock and Galena are watching Milia run up, Viktor, you turn to look, and in the gloom, you just about make out what appear to be 6 flickers of light that kind of flash up before blinking away, and the horse kind of disappears over the edge of the ravine and starts hanging limply.
Firebolt.
Shoot.
Okay, if you're firebolting and shooting, roll disadvantage attack rolls.
Yeah, that's fine.
Do I get a straight roll?
You don't.
Oh, because it's invisible. Gotcha. Let's go. Whoa.
Crit with disadvantage!
Double crit!
Is that with disadvantage?
That was disadvantage!
Oh!
Nice.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Okay, in which case, Viktor, you sort of like you bring your rifle up, you aim, you see where the horse is kind of limply hanging. There's a roar, and you can almost feel the air shaking in front of you.
Fuck.
And
So
you
cool.
you fire, but like above the horse, but miss. Milia, you like so Viktor fires, bang, and you see you in the moonlight see a shape like shift out the way. That this very large shape holding the horse by its jaw, fundamentally. As the thing moves, it moves harsh enough that its translucency the distortion that makes it invisible is reduced enough that the moonlight almost outlines bits of it. And you, well, what does your firebolt look like?
So like it looks like Victor would probably know what a flare looks like. It's literally like she's taken a flare from the padlock and just thrown it out.
Okay.
Like sort of slow moving, but intercepts it apparently.
Sure. In which case, your flare like arcs across, and like as it closes in, it illuminates the shape of this thing. And from where you are, like just kind of seeing it from the front, it's got these. How would I describe it? It's got.
Oh, I need to roll damage.
Yes. Yeah. Roll your damage.
14.
14. Okay.
I'm imagining a jellyfish lizard hawk. That's what I got in my head.
So you notice. So the flare arcs and hits just to the side of the horse's head, presumably at one of the creature's legs or arms or whatever it is, whatever's holding this horse up. The flare illuminates, and you can see what almost looks like a talon on a very large and powerful looking front leg. You can just about make out folds of fur up the leg, and as your firebolt strikes it, the creature roars, and like creature roars, rocks back, and drops the horse as it recoils. You just see the horse plummet into the ravine below. The creature, like it goes in as your flare dissipates. It kind of goes translucent, but Milia, you also see these 6 eyes in like a crescent arc turn to regard you, and with a final the creature disappears up into the night sky and vanishes from view.
You said you didn't have any offensive capabilities.
I said I didn't have many.
I understand.
By the divine girl, that's got to be a 1 in 400 kind of shot there.
Okay.
Desperate times. Desperate measures, and I've been in desperate situations before.
Victor, as you kind of see this thing fly off, you can't be sure how long it will be gone for, and you reckon you've not been in this particular cave before, but you reckon that well, you've already said that will give you it'll be that much safer for you in there.
Don't worry. Maybe there's a horse inside, or maybe there isn't. Let's go check it out.
All right.
Okay. In which case, as Victor, as you head in, Comstock, what do you make of everything that's just happened?
He's a little bit angry, but his primary concern is obviously just sticking close to Galena and Milia, sort of keeping his shield at the ready. So he'll basically be sort of staying between them and it.
Sure. Okay. Are you heading in the cave?
Yeah, as I said, he'll wait for the other 2 to move, and he'll just follow them in.
Sure.
Yeah, sticking close to Comstock. I just want to close my eyes and kick into my vibro location as well.
Mm-hmm.
And see if there's anything in here.
As you send out your Earth sense sonar, you feel nothing of note in the 30 foot around you. 60 feet, beg your pardon. Yeah, you feel nothing of note. You feel the 3 sets of vibrations from the 3 companions, and nothing within 60 feet of you in the cave. And if you're heading in, you don't notice anything on the way in either.
Beer's empty. Let's get in.
All right. Reignite the light.
Okay.
Nice. Ooh.
Cool. So,
Go in.
as you reignite your light cantrip and you make your way in, Like, as the night disappears, as the ravine disappears behind you, and you hear a final roar. We'll call it there.
I mean, we peaked at a double crit, so
Yeah.
On a disadvantage. Fuck me.
Unbelievable.
Absolutely unbelievable. So, with that said, congratulations everyone on completing episode 3.
We didn't splat.
Yeah, we didn't die.
You did
Not
not
bad.
die. No.
Also, I only noticed while I was looking in my camera this entire session, I'm holding my padlock in the same hand that I have my padlock tattoo.
Hey!
Oh.
There you go. So, yes, I hope you all enjoyed it, and I also hope you all enjoyed it, those of you watching. Yeah, I guess we'll find out what's in the cave. Maybe we'll find out whatever the thing is that's been attacking you. Who knows? It's almost like you have to come back and watch the next one to find out. Okay?
Yeah.
Episode 4.
it's like
I
he
think
set
I will
this
come
up,
back
I
and
think.
watch it.
I think.
Well, one would hope so. You're part of it.
What if they look up this creature on Wikipedia, Dan?
Yes, if you enjoyed what we are doing here, make sure to hit the like button and leave a comment down below about your favorite bits or your speculations on what the horrible beastie is. We have lots of other content similar to this, so you can catch all of our other videos on the channel. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon for notifications of when we upload new videos, which is happening quite often, actually.
Every week.
Well, now we're back. Yeah.
Almost every week.
Yeah.
Can't get away from us.
Yeah, they were like a bad smell.
Except it's a good
On that
smell.
note,
So, thank you all for playing. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time. Keep exploring.
Bye.
see you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Explorers of Elsewhere, like a bad smell, but good.
That'll be our dictionary definition.
After another close encounter with it, our explorers find themselves with more questions and a growing vendetta against this mysterious beast. Potentially cut off from where they came from, what will the explorers find in this dark and foreboding cave? Come back next time to find out. Thank you for watching to the end of the video. I'm really pleased with how the campaign is going so far, and I feel like we're really getting into a groove. It's great to have Anton back on the channel, and I look forward to Meg returning to us soon. Once again, a shout out to Birdie Maps for the visuals. You can check out their Patreon if you want to see the amazing VTT maps they have for offer. Link is down below. If you enjoyed what you saw, make sure to hit the like button and comment down below with your thoughts, feedback and guesses for what's to come. We have loads of other content on the channel, such as this video here, and the best way to support us is by subscribing here and hitting the bell icon for notifications. So, with that said, thank you once again. Stay safe, and as always, keep exploring.